Yeah, all right, guys. Quick review here of our ongoing yen trades. It looks to me like adding up the numbers truly does actually give us the truth. So we don't really need to look much further. If you go back to the last video, the illusion of the charts, um, that's when we did that. We added them all up and we discovered the truth. But now, and what we'll do, hang on, what we'll do is we'll draw a potential river map of where and how we believe this thing will go down. We're starting it from where we believe the stop should be at the beginning, and we'd want to come back to here. Back to here. But how, if we look at the old existing playground, we're going to kind of maybe line up with that. So we'd want one of these to be lining up in there, maybe. I know it's all visual illusion stuff, but that would maybe help us out with the time, because now I believe we should be able to try to figure out the dates when to anticipate price to get to our targets. So what we've done here, I know it looks like a bit of a mess, but I'll try to zoom in. These are our 1 minute proposed paths from the 1 minute moving averages from the beginning. So probably, it will go an average of this, so we could chop between, which would put us in time to somewhere between, I guess, it could, the fastest route would be down here. The second fastest would be here. Third fastest would be here, etc. So we've written here target between April 27th and, oops, oh, sorry, and the 4th, I think. That's when it allows that much time for all of them to make it. So we'd want to trail our stops collectively above the LFX, because if we come into the Swiss, it's exactly what I said was going to happen happened. It did that extra move from where we started selling, but all the time we knew that was a high possibility. But instead of bailing and buying like we would have done, we stuck to the plan. And this would be our main objective here. So yeah, it came, where is it here? Swiss still up, you see. So all of this is a hoax. Now What we can do though, can apply the same logic and investigate this move up as well in terms of the numbers. And we're probably going to do that now. But this is how you do this here. Look, I'm sure you guys get, because it just looks like a giant mess at the moment with all of these different time frames overlapped. But what we're doing is we're simply filling in this area between the most likely moving averages and then averaging it, which will be the 4,000. So as long as we are going in here, we're good. So any time between the 27th and the 14th is when we should make it to the target collectively. So if Aussie makes it today, pound makes it tomorrow, euro makes it the next day, etc., etc., etc. That's what we're looking for. It's like a wind down sort. I don't know how else to describe it. The whole thing is a river. That's all it is. It's a river of current flowing through a path, and our job is to try to find the route of the river. That's all we're doing. So yeah, let's try to do some more numbers here. And we'll go on to our 1 minute chart. Here, let's see here, relative to the absolute high here, the question is, did they ever take them out? No, they didn't. Okay. So from here to here, the worst possible place in time and price where they bought, they never in the LFX let them off the hook, if that's how you want to see it, or they never added. Sorry, hang on. Let me try to move this over here. Right. So look, CAD was weak. This move we want to add up, and this move we want to add up, because if there's sellers here at the worst possible place, they're happy. But let's say there's buyers here at the worst possible price. Those guys, if we add up all their numbers and then bring in the Swiss, try to do the same thing here. But really, it's taken out the low. So I mean, it's those guys are pretty hurting. But that's why if we go really back to, it's here. So no, they're done. This thing's coming down. But we can add. This was on a local perspective, though, wasn't it? Yesterday. Okay, sorry. Let's go back. We need to know about this one here. Okay. This is the one we need to see. Did they take this high out? No, they didn't. So, the LFX the whole time was telling us to be stubborn and stay with this direction, and that's what we did. Now, when we look at these numbers, we know they were huge, and they were not enough to they were the Swiss move up at this down at this time, right? And this was not enough to make up for this. So the sellers were always winning, providing they were holding the CAD, if that makes sense. Let's look at the other ones. Just bring in the euro and the pound. the euro was strong. And we don't want to keep our eyes, we don't want to lose track of the CAD at the same time. So I wish we could put 4 in here. Just do it this way. So the CAD, let's just do it again if you haven't watched the video. To here, okay, it's 1,800 points. The pound to here, it's 2,200 points. So you add the 1,800 to the 22, right, and you're 4,000 basically. Do the same with the euro. It's not letting me. Oh yeah, here we go. So I'm just closing off the chart here. That's slowing this thing down a bit. All right, that's better. Worst possible place here. Buy it here. It'd be down 1,300 points. So then you add that to those numbers. We're at 5,300. Okay, don't worry, we're going to add these up after. Because the question is, will this and the Swiss, obviously the Swiss went up a lot, right? Will these guys be able to make up for these in total? My guess is not, because the LFX never took out the high. All right. So we've done that. I'm just eyeballing this. I'm not writing any of these numbers down, but you guys can go ahead and do it if you want to really get into this. Because after this now, this gives us permission to go ahead and do any other index, because we've done it now. It's finished. That's what it is. That's how this is operating. Okay, so imagine you were a buyer in all of them again, and you're now 1,700 points down in addition to your whatever we were at, 6,000, so 8,000 now. All right, same again, same place in time down to there, because that's when we observed it all. 1,100, so that's 9,000 points. Okay, so the worst possible buyers are 9,000 points here. Now we'll pull in the Swiss. They were only 597 negative. So that is still showing you it's showing you the strength, firstly, with the Swiss relative to the other ones, because it was not able to go down anywhere as close as the other ones. So that gave them the opportunity to do another move up. Then to here, let's add these up here. What you've got is something quite interesting. The worst possible sellers here would be at this point 575 points negative, while on the pound it came all the way up here to 2400, which gives you the illusion that that this is bullish. But the Swiss is saying no, given the story. You know, with the Swiss being so strong, if this underlying strength was still there, the Swiss would have gone up to, like, you know, more than the pound, because Swiss was always stronger than the pound. So from here to here, let's try to imagine if we were a seller and how we're making out currently, in terms of the numbers. Already the Swiss shows us here it's kind of trashed the whole game for them, really. But we should add them up. So we got 2300. Question is, does this price need to come back up here? That's what everyone wants to know. So 560, 2300. $2,200. Oh, sorry, that's the pound. We did that one already. Let's look at the dollar. All right. They were 1200 on the way down. They were 1100 on the way up. Okay. Because there's still going to be buyers left here, that they might want to free up a bit. That's why I'm kind of thinking to look at this. Not to buy this under any circumstance, but to anticipate the next pullback within this playground down. That's what we're trying to do here. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it right now in my mind. Oh, you know what? There's an easier way to do it. I just suddenly thought. All we have to do is, instead of bothering with this, because we know that half of them have come down, and the Swiss is the one that we were concerned about. If we go again and say the worst possible buyers were this much, that's 1,200 points. Okay, so those guys are suffering now from here, 1,200 points. The dollar guys suffering 806, so it's 2,000. New Zealand guys are suffering 700. It's 2,700. $1,900. And the Swiss index has showed the yellow LFX has indeed come below the low, saying to us that collectively the numbers here are further. So we don't even have to add them up, but we can at this point, because we kind of know the whole deal. I think is what I'm trying to say, but we can definitely do this better and have it structured where we just zoom in to try to think how to do it, in my mind right now, live. Maybe we could do it from here. Now we know that this has happened. Let's just say the worst possible buyers from here to here. That's how we do it. We do it this way because this is now gone. It's void once we've seen this. So all we have to do is skip it and go to here. So let's do that, and that will give us the truth. But open-minded to the fact that there could be a pullback within trend, etc. The Swiss guys are here, and they're now finally at break even. As you can see, our sell is now finally at break even. So we're now feeling a little better about our positions collectively within our emotions. So that's a better place to be than where these buyers are. If I'm looking here at the or the buyers here, let's just imagine we're a buyer here. You're up that much in profit, but now you're basically at break even. You're down that much in profit on your buys. You're down that much in profit on your buys. You're down that much in profit on your buys. You're down that much of profit in your buys. So even though this has happened where we've got a shorter drop than the others, all this may mean is possibly a local pullback to here and down or something. But overall, if we look at the numbers, you're in pain being a buyer. And the same again on the dollar. I think that's everything. Euro, maybe, wherever that is. CAD, let's find those. CAD will be the worst one. Now let's look at these numbers here. Aussie's the worst. Yen is the best, so that's good. Move this. All right, here. Your original buys on the euro are now finally in profit from here to here. Okay. That's why, like I'm saying, this thing is not fixed because some of these highs, if are different, like here, this high is different than the Swiss high. On all the rest of them, it looks like it was a top, but here, look how much more different it is than here. and here because it's so much stronger. So it's not the same high. So you got to wait longer for it to come back. All right, that's all of them. So let's go and have a look at another group, collective group, and we're going to try to find a new trade. Let me give me a minute. All right, so we're on the euro here, and right away we don't see enough here, so we've got to zoom out because we don't have permission to even look at this. I mean, we could now, really, if we add up these numbers, yeah, the deal is it's down from there to there. The buyers are in trouble. Is that true? Let's have a look. The buyers in euro Swiss are now currently at break even finally. The buyers in euro yen are struggling. Let's keep going. Buyers in euro Aussie are now basically doing nothing. So we have a silly trade here, a test that I was practicing some scalping on. We'll close that right away. We don't need that because the buyers here are now below break even relative to the area we're looking at in the other ones. If you don't, we'll just bring over the scale just so we know where we're at. It's here, okay, break even. You can see again, it wasn't the same high. Like I said, um, it's time. Okay, don't visually look at these. This is all an illusion. Just look at the time and the price. Don't look at the candles. You don't need to. It's not that. Just time and price. We could delete the whole thing. Okay, we could actually do this. Literally remove the candles and do the same. But we need the candles on there to show us where price was, so we can add up the numbers. There's no other way to do it apart from they have to leave some sort of print on the chart so we know where price was. We could do it with the moving averages actually on their own and add up those numbers. We could do that. We'll try that in a few videos time just for the hell of it. So anyway, the buyers in Euro Aussie are now finally at break even. Yeah, so they were happy. They were really getting happy, but now they're not so happy. So they're essentially liquidating, but that doesn't mean that the Aussie index is going to go up against the yen. So don't start buying that. That's not what it means. Because the Aussie may be stronger temporarily against the euro, but not collectively against the yen. You see how much work is required to turn the entire currency. It's like 4-5 days of nonsense to turn the currency itself. So the buyers here are in trouble, and that's against the dollar. So that is telling us euro is pretty weak right now. Okay, the buyers at break even. Buyers were at profit. They were pretty happy, but now they're gradually not so happy. And that's against the pound. And here, the buyers are really they're not doing well either. So the question is, would we sell euro pound? What would we do? Well, in order to do that, the perfect thing to do is us to go over to the pound index to do it. So let's do that. We'll just do the same exact time. 1 second. this is the wrong chart. That shouldn't be there. Pound index, here it is. Well, we have to look at the same area again. It's here. Pound index buyers are not very happy. Pound index buyers are not very happy. Pound index buyers don't look very happy either. But I'm already seeing right away that the pound is slightly stronger than the euro. The pound index buyers are not very happy, but the euro was worse. And the pound Aussie guys are slowly starting to see themselves being relieved as the price has come up here. And the pound Swiss guys, they were happy, they were not so happy, and now they're slowly almost to break even again. So when we go back to the euro, all right, if we look, we can see it in the euro here. The buyers here finally just let off. Were finally just removed of their profits. The buyers here have just been showed break even. If you look at euro versus pound here, you've got a bigger move down in euro than pound. What this is showing us here is pound has currently just become stronger than euro. So we're going to go ahead and sell this euro pound. And another, one thing I noticed here is we've got dollar yen in profit while the dollar is up. So we're still profitable on our short with the dollar being so strong today, which is a good sign. It means we've got the dominating currency correct by the looks of things. Euro pound, where has that gone? What is this trade from? All right.
For sure the elite know so much more than us about this time, but we must stay on their heels and keep questioning and contemplating. So much is at stake. If you need to make some big decisions, take some time for yourself. We can withdraw from our daily lives to become more clear about our connections and goals. During these times, we can learn to accept our fleetingness, and such meditative periods will bring us back to our true nature. Stay on the path of righteousness and salvation. Your soul will benefit in the long run.